Hi, Sally Williams here, and I'm in a place that's familiar to you all. Yes, it's a supermarket. It's in places like these that we shop perhaps more than any other retail outlet. And it's here that we find on display some of the best that Australia has to offer in regards to essential household products and fresh produce. To keep all this at its best, most of what we buy will be presented and displayed in some sort of plastic packaging. Regrettably, what we do with this packaging after we no longer have any use for it has become a major problem throughout the world. As I've shown in previous videos, Martogg LCM have developed a practical, sustainable solution, a recycling process that offers new life to packaging just like this that we're seeing here today. We've seen how Martogg convert plastic waste into MarPet, and today we'll see how these versatile little granules here are converted into food packaging just like this. Plastic has been a wonderful resource for over 60 years and has significantly changed the way we live. Unfortunately, somewhere along the line we've lost our way as to how we manage this resource sustainably. Thankfully, companies such as Martogg with their MarPet resin and customers such as RPAC have the answer and are showing the way forward. With Martogg LCM, we have a company that is doing something positive about the future of the planet, and they're doing it right now. You know, there really are no more excuses. I'm at RPAC Recyclable Packaging, a Victorian company that manufactures and distributes a wide range of food packaging, just like this one made from MarPet. And I'm with Ben from Martogg.
Thanks, Sal.
Hey Ben, and Michael Reid from
Thanks,
RPAC.
Sal.
Thank you so much for having us here today. I can't wait to have a look around, but first of all, I want to find out about RPAC. How did it start?
Okay, so 1994, we were established under another name, making packaging but from non-food grade materials. And in 2010 we remorphed and reinvented ourselves and came back making packaging materials only from recycled material.
Okay.
And that is where we are today. Everything that we make is from 100% recyclable material, and ideally from post-consumer industrial waste.
Great, just like this one here, huh?
Just like this one here. So we would make probably 50% of all of our products out of MarPet.
And how's the industry receiving that?
Yeah, very well. So if we'd asked that question 5 years ago, not so, because there is a slight price premium, but things are changed very much.
And so what's made the change, do you think?
I think awareness, general awareness, and I think people are understanding more education is coming through, and people's in the community who have children are going to school are talking about recycling all the time.
Yeah,
and it puts a lot of pressure on people.
Yeah, so it's pressure on the consumer, but also B2B, the business
Yeah,
industry
absolutely.
as well, the manufacturers and the products, the producers.
Yeah, and in fairness,
the growers.
since 2010, the reason we morphed as we did is I had 3 angsty daughters that were giving me quite a bit of grief about the industry that I was in. So I've gone green.
Really? So they changed you?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they changed me all right.
They influenced you, the younger generation.
Yeah, absolutely, they did.
Okay. Well, that's good because I mean they're the shoppers. They're the ones that are picking up the product, looking underneath, going, okay, so I need to know if this is recycled material. Is it RPET?
Yeah, and they're critical and they're not ignorant. So they actually do they research and they know what's true and what's not.
And Michael, how does MarPet fit into all of this?
So MarPet gives me the opportunity to increase the amount of recycled content that I can actually put into products. Without MarPet, I would have to be running virgin materials only, and I would then be able to mix post-industrial scrap from my own process with that, but I can only achieve maximum 30%. MarPet enabled us to take that to 50%, and in some cases 100% when required.
I am fascinated about this. Can you talk me through from woe to go, the whole process?
Yeah, okay, so the resin arrives from as in granule form.
Yeah.
And we mix that with our granulated industrial spoils, the flake. We make a mix, say 50-50.
Yeah.
That material then is crystallised in an infrared dryer and is then deposited into an extruder, which is just basically a big hot Archimedes screw. It's melted ever so slowly to a point where it's quite viscous. It's has a viscosity like water.
Yes, okay.
It then comes out of the die, which are chilled, and it effectively sets it so that it becomes this hardened plastic.
Yeah, so you've melted it down.
melted down.
And then cooled it, and it's come out as a hard plastic at the other end.
Yes, and it goes onto a spool, it goes onto a roll, so it is effectively just a large roll, which then goes onto a thermoformer, is reheated at a different temperature for forming. We are then punching and cutting it out of its skeletal web, stacking it, and then an operator at the end of the machine will collect those bundles of product, for example in this cherry burst, and put them in a box, seal the box, put the box on the pallet, and deliver to the customer, where the customer will fill them with cherry tomatoes.
So can you just talk me through when it's rolled, when it's going to sort of be formulated? So it's on the roll, and then it's going to go through that machine that we were talking about before.
Yep.
Can you just name those 4 processes again?
Yep.
So it's on the roll,
Yeah, it's on the roll, it's fed into the machine. So the first stage is to heat it, and the second stage is to form it in the shape, for example, of this punnet.
Yeah.
The next stage is to punch it to create these air holes. Then put a label on the lid.
Yep.
Then it will be cut out of the skeletal web, and a label will go on the base. And then it will be stacked in groups of maybe 25 or so. And then the packer at the end of the machine picks up the 25 and puts them in a box.
So this is just one shape, of course. There's probably plenty. How many are there?
Yeah, well, look behind you, Sal. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fascinating. That today is a cherry burst, but tomorrow that could well be a mushroom, and the very next day it could be a blueberry.
What about meat trays? Do you do all that as well?
Yeah, we do meat trays. We do meat. We do cheese. We
Biscuits.
do fruit, vegetables, biscuits. This is actually for capsicums. So all of these products can actually be anything at any time. But the clue to it is that what I am today is not what I'll be next week. I can be something altogether different.
Yeah.
And the processing of the Marpet as a recycled material is so easy that it is easy to make any product, any shape that we actually want.
Well, Michael, how do you see all this panning out in the future? We're going to see more of it?
Yeah, so I mean, there's absolutely no doubt if we're going to close the loop, if we're going to be sustainable in the future, there is absolutely no other alternative for everybody else to follow and make packaging out of 100% recyclable material to use our post-consumer waste and industrial waste and eliminate landfill. And if we don't do that, then we're just going to pollute our waterways, and we're just going to keep remaking a resource that is not required to be done. This is effectively green material because it's actually renewable.
Yes, it is.
Literally is renewable.
Yeah.
Through Marpet, through their it's a renewable source.
It's recyclable. It's circular. It comes back, and it can come back again and again. And this is the whole key. This is the message here, isn't it?
Yep, this is the message.
As long as we buy the recycled and support recycled packaging, and we recycle it correctly, it'll come back to the likes of Martogg, who then process it and bring it to you, and off we go again.
And around and around and
around and around. So when I go shopping and I buy my produce in an RPET container, Marpet container, I know that I can put it in the bin, and I feel 100% sure that it will get recycled and back into the system again.
Yeah, and ideally come back to us to be remade into a blueberry punnet.
So why would you buy one that wasn't?
Yeah, good question.
So education is key here.
Yeah, education is very much the key.
Yeah. So we've got to get the consumer to understand, and your customers also to understand, the importance of it.
Yeah, that's on the back of this punnet. It says, "Please recycle me."
Oh, well, it couldn't be any clearer than that. What a wonderful working relationship you two have, Ben.
It's incredible. We've got a manufacturer in RPAC who's a clear advocate for sustainability. He's playing his role. He's using recycled PET back into his packaging. We've got businesses and brands who have aligned here. Look at how many products there are here. So
it's endless, really, isn't it?
It really
that
is.
can just keep growing and growing.
Exactly.
And that can expand.
Exactly.
So we just need the consumer to come on board.
The consumer, as we've said from the get-go, it begins and ends with the consumer. If consumers are actively seeking product packaging, such as this, that contain recycled content, they're buying it and they know the story behind it, then no doubt we've got a circular economy on our hands. We're driving the circular economy, and look, it's ensuring, the future looks really bright.
Yeah, and you two are an example of how it can be done. You are, living proof that we can get this happening in a much bigger way.
Thanks.
My hat's off to you both.
Thanks, Sal.
And now I'm off to Flavorite, one of Australia's largest glasshouse producers of fresh fruit and vegetables, to hear from Jim Madden. I'm keen to get a brand's opinion on the use of recycled content in packaging.
So these are our cherry burst tomatoes. They're grown at our farm up in Katunga near Shepparton and also here on site. We pack them into PET packaging with 50% recycled content, which we think is fantastic. So we work with a local company. They're only 45 minutes down the road. They're called RPAC. And we've worked very closely with them over the past 4 to 5 years in developing this product, increasing the recycled content while keeping the clarity and the strength of the punnet itself. Clarity in a product is very important. We need the product to present well for our customers. When we got into getting more recycled content into our package, that was front of mind, and they've done a fantastic job. We've got all people out there that are doing the right thing, putting PET plastic into their recycle bins, and it needs a home for it to go to. And products like this are a fantastic place for it to end up. The more educated consumers are about PET in general and rPET, the more recycled content we can just get into our packaging in general. Not only is this product able to be recycled very easily, but it's made from 50% recycled content. So it's a win-win.
When manufacturers, producers and consumers alike start to demand only recycled content in the form of rPET in their packaging and refuse all non-recyclable alternatives, it won't be long before our supermarket shelves are full entirely of sustainably packaged products. Now that is a world that I would be happy and excited to be a part of.